transfer to Manchester United today.
Football predictions.
If Barbara Rangers nil, Ipswich Town 1.
Football predictions.
Hello, it's Peter Guest, and I'm here with the Moose for another episode of the footballpredictions.net podcast covering German Bundesliga games for the 14th to the 16th of March 2025. And you can see the details for all the matches we're about to discuss in this podcast on the website footballpredictions.net, along with the fixtures from just about every other football competition that you can shake a stick at.
Yes, and on our website, it'll show you where to watch the games on local broadcast channels plus video streaming services, as well as match odds from local bookmakers. Look in the description of this podcast episode for direct clickable links to all of the matches we are about to discuss. If you're streaming any of the matches on Bet365, geolocation and live streaming rules apply. 18 plus, gamble aware.
Kicking off with St. Pauli in 15th place in the table, taking on Hoffenheim, who are 13th. It's on Friday night, 7:30 UK time. That's the 14th of March. And of course, go to the link in the description and you'll find out where to watch this on footballpredictions.net's website using your local kickoff time, odds and TV channels, streaming services too. One of those is Bet365, and to qualify to watch on there, all you need is a funded account or to have placed a bet with them in the last 24 hours. Sign up with the bonus code FP365. Now, St. Pauli have not been travelling too well lately. It's not looking great for them, is it?
No, and here we've got two teams that actually over the past couple of matches have kind of bypassed each other. St. Pauli dropping towards the relegation zone, Hoffenheim picking themselves up a bit. No defeats from the last 4 matches now for Hoffenheim. And that's pretty good because they didn't start this year too well. 4 defeats from the first 6 games, just a single win at Holstein Kiel. But over the last couple of matches, they picked up form. And we have to say, especially away from home, they picked up all of their wins this year away from home. They won at Werder Bremen 4 match rounds ago, and then a home draw against Stuttgart, a 1-0 win at Bochum, and then last week they picked up a point against Heidenheim. If we look at the home team, St. Pauli, it's a different story because they actually started the year okay. They had a couple of wins against Heidenheim and Union Berlin. They pulled them back out of the relegation zone and that relegation playoff spot, but they're now dropping down towards it because they have no wins in the last 6 matches. Just 2 points they picked up. Did pick up a point last week, we have to say, at Wolfsburg. We had both teams to score in that one. It ended 1-1, but their most recent home game, that ended with a 2-0 home defeat to Borussia Dortmund. We predicted that as well, and as well as the under 2.5 goal prediction. But yeah, overall, St. Pauli not in great form. Hoffenheim picking up form. However, we think things might change around here.
Yeah, we do. St. Pauli can't keep losing and drawing forever, can they? But they're by no odds on for this to win, but by no means. But we actually, our tip for this one actually is actually the both teams to score. We've gone for that. Odds are 1.8 if you're interested in that market. But if you did like St. Pauli to win, which we think is going to happen, the odds are very good, 2.25. Have a think about that one, but they haven't won in a while. But it's at home. We like the look of them, and we think they might be able to finally break the spell of losing and drawing. But odds for Hoffenheim to win are actually 3.3, so they're not heavily fancied by the bookmakers either. A draw might be interesting for you as well, 3.25 odds you can get for that. But for our correct score prediction for this one, we've gone for 2-1 to the home side. Like I said, both teams to score. And the odds for a correct score prediction of 2-1 are 9 or 8-1 in fractional. 57% of you who vote on the poll on our website, you click the link in the description, you'll see how to get to that. 57% think St. Pauli will win, only 18% Hoffenheim, with the rest liking the look of a draw. Anyway, let's move on to the next game, which is Werder Bremen, who are sitting in 12th in the table, taking on Borussia Mönchengladbach, who are 9th. It kicks off on Saturday, the 15th of March. It's at 2:30 UK time in the afternoon. And of course, click the link in the description of this podcast and you will go to footballpredictions.net's page for this, where you can see your local kickoff time and the odds and broadcast streaming options in your area. You can see this in most places outside of Germany on Bet365, and to qualify to watch, all you need is a funded account or to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours. And when you do join, if you're new to them, use the bonus code FP365. Now, it looks like Werder Bremen back on the winning streak of one.
Yeah, but that wasn't just any win last weekend for Werder Bremen. They had just one win in 9 coming into this game, one win all year, and they go to Leverkusen and they beat them 2-0. And we all know Leverkusen just had one defeat all season, combined with no defeats all last season. So this really was a big result for Werder Bremen, going to Leverkusen and beating them
convincingly.
2-0.
Yeah,
because prior to that, four straight defeats, and he got knocked out of the DFB Pokal to Arminia Bielefeld. I mean, really, there were no indications of this result whatsoever prior to this game. But yeah, what a result for Werder Bremen there. If we do, like I said, like some of their previous results were not great. They took some heavy beatings as well. They lost 3-0 at Bayern Munich. They lost 3-1 at home to Hoffenheim. They lost 5-0 in their previous away game to Leverkusen. 2-1 at home to Wolfsburg, conceding 13 goals across 4 matches. And then they go to Leverkusen, keep a clean sheet, and beat them 2-0. So yeah, what a result for Werder Bremen that was. Let's look at the opposition, Borussia Mönchengladbach, because they had a slightly different type of fortune last week, because they lost at home 3-1 to Mainz. Mainz is doing really well at the moment. They're now up to 3rd in the Bundesliga, so don't underestimate Mainz at all. But Gladbach has been a little bit up and down, especially when you look home and away, because at home they have not picked up a win in the last 3. In fact, they just won one home game all of this year, which was against Bochum. But this is an away game for Gladbach, and away from home they have won the last 3 away games. One at Heidenheim, Union Berlin, and at Stuttgart. Their most recent away game at Heidenheim, we predicted the Gladbach win. They won that one 3-0. But yeah, overall, this is a bit of a mixed bag with Gladbach when we look at their form. 3 wins, 1 draw, and the 2 defeats, most recently to Mainz. Going into this game against the Werder Bremen team, who's just beaten Leverkusen, that's got to give Werder Bremen some confidence.
Yeah, exactly. Now, just looking at this, we think it's going to be very, very close. So it's not an easy one to pick the winner. Just looking at the bookie odds for this, home side 2.4, away side 2.75, and a draw 3.6. So everyone seems to be a little bit on the fence because, can they string 2 wins in a row together, Werder Bremen? We think they might, but we've actually opted for a both teams to score prediction. Bad news about that is you can only get odds of 1.5, so you've got to weigh that up. But both teams to score 1.5, Werder Bremen to win 2.4, much more appealing. We think they're going to get over the line and win this one. They are winless against Mönchengladbach in their last 4 league games, so nothing's a given here, and they haven't won at home for the last 2 league matches either. So, but yeah, Mönchengladbach themselves are very patchy. It's like win, draw, win, loss, win, loss. We don't know what's going to happen next with them. But yeah, we think they might just not be able to make it in this one. 2-1 is what we've gone for as the correct score prediction. And the odds there are 9.5, which are pretty healthy. We'd like for that to come off. Maybe have a little nibble on that one. But that's what we've gone for. 2-1 to the home side. And fingers crossed we can come away with a nice set of predictions coming true there. Next up, we've got Augsburg, who are 11th, taking on VfL Wolfsburg, who are 7th in the table. This one's on Saturday, the 15th of March. The Ides of March, beware. At 2:30 in the afternoon, that's UK time. Of course, look in the description of this podcast, as always, and you'll find your local kickoff time, betting odds, and broadcast streaming options available to you in your local area. You can watch this one on Bet365. To qualify for that, all you need is funds in your account, any funds, or to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours. Sign up with the bonus code FP365. And, well, I think Augsburg have got the better of the kind of most recent form between these two, but there's not really much in it, is there?
No, there really isn't. If we look at these two teams, in particular, since they came back from that Christmas break, both of them have recorded just one defeat. That's one defeat from 10 for both Augsburg and Wolfsburg going into this game. We start with Augsburg, the home team. It's interesting. It's not a yawn fest, but it's close.
A lot of nils.
If we look at their results since the Christmas break, so over the 10 matches, only 2 matches have ended with over 2.5 goals, and across the last 5 games, and this is quite impressive, Augsburg has kept clean sheet in the last 5 matches in a row, but it consisted of just 4 goals in total. So, yeah, over the last 5 games, we're looking at below one goal on average per game. So it's not the most entertaining team, Augsburg, but they're getting the results and they're moving slowly up the table. They're actually just 4 points off Leipzig in 6th for European spot. So if they can kind of keep going on this trajectory with the wins and draws, they're most likely going to end up in the top 10 at least. However, they're playing a Wolfsburg team, which is also going into this game with just 1 defeat since they came back from the Christmas break. So that's 1 defeat from 10. That 1 defeat was an away defeat at Bayern Munich. They will probably be forgiven for dropping points in that game. Has to be said, they did also lose in the DFB Pokal a few weeks ago to Leipzig. But yeah, when we look purely at the Bundesliga, just 1 defeat since they came back. A lot of draws though over the past 7 matches. Wolfsburg recorded 5 draws and 2 wins. Both of those wins were the 2 most recent away games. Now, compared to Augsburg, there is a little bit more action in the Wolfsburg games. The last 4 matches, has ended with both teams to score. And when we look at our predictions on football predictions, we have predicted all of those as both teams to score. However, we are probably looking towards Augsburg and their form at the moment for the prediction for this game.
Yeah, funny you should say that. Now, let's look at this draw, shall we? The head-to-heads in the last 6 meetings between these two sides, guess what? 3 of them have been a draw. Augsburg have actually won the other 3. Wolfsburg haven't had much success. They've won none of the last 6 between them. So Wolfsburg, compared with Augsburg, probably not travelling too well to them. But, you know, Augsburg haven't been beaten in the last 3 home league matches. They haven't won them either, 2 of them, the last 2. And they haven't been beaten in the league by Wolfsburg in their last 6. So we don't think Wolfsburg will win. However, like you said, if we look at those scores with Augsburg, 4 out of their last 5 there's been a nil. In fact, no, all of the last 6 there's been a nil in the score, and 3 of them have been 0-0s. They are very much a defensive team. They usually take between 28 to 30% possession, and so they sit back. It's very boring football. No one likes to see it, but it might be effective for them to stay in the league, which is possibly their aim, and they are 11th, so they're doing pretty well at it. So, yeah, we think it's also, so forgetting about just the draws all the time here. Obviously, when there's a nil in the score all the time, it's under 2.5 goals also features quite a lot, and 5 out of the last 6 there have been under 2.5 goals. In fact, under 1.5 goals in those games. So we've gone for an under 2.5 goals prediction, and the odds aren't too bad for that. 1.8. Might be sticking a bit on that, but for a draw, which is what we've also predicted. I know the draws can't go on forever, but they seem to be pretty good at it. You can get 3.3, which I think is huge for what we're looking at here. Yep. So 3.3 for a draw. I like the look of that. Now, just looking at the other odds, 2.55 for a home win, 2.7 for an away win. So not really much in that is there. I mean, the bookies are undecided. 3.3 is kind of looking for the draw at pretty good value. Now, we've gone for a 0-0, boring as it sounds, and you can get odds on that of 9.5, which I think is pretty good as well. In our poll on the site, click in the description of the podcast, go to the link to the page in footballpredictions.net where you can see all the info, of course. You'll find out that Augsburg have got 37% of the vote, Wolfsburg 21%, and whopping 42% think a draw. So, yeah, let's hope that we can get this one right. And let's move now on to something which hopefully has got at least one goal in it, which is Mainz, who are in third in the table. This will be a much more exciting game, taking on Freiburg, who are in fifth. It's on Saturday, the 15th of March, again at 2:30 UK time in the afternoon. Of course, click the link in the description of this podcast. You'll be able to see your local kickoff time, betting odds, and broadcast streaming channels tailored to your location. And you can stream it again on Bet365. To qualify for that, all you need is a funded account or to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours. When you join, use the bonus code FP365. That's FP for football predictions, if you hadn't guessed. Right, Mainz are flying in the last 4 games, whereas Freiburg have kind of slowed down and got a bit boring.
Yeah, I think let's start with Freiburg, actually, although Mainz is a really, really interesting team at the moment in the Bundesliga. But Freiburg also, we really have to, you cannot get across the fact that Freiburg now has 6 clean sheets in a row. But also, when we look at our predictions for Freiburg for the last couple of games, we actually predicted the last 2 draws. So they have 2 draws in a row against Leipzig and Augsburg. We predicted both of those. They both ended 0-0, of course, because they have 6 clean sheets in a row. So yeah, those were 0-0s. We also predicted Freiburg's win against Werder Bremen and Heidenheim. And yeah, overall, some good solid predictions on Freiburg there. But yeah, 6 clean sheets in a row. However,
Impressive.
they have drawn the last 2, not managed to score in the last 2, and also 3 out of the 4 wins they had prior to those 2 draws were 1-0 wins. So yeah, I know they beat Werder Bremen 5-0, but in the other 5 matches, they kind of struggled for goals, but they're keeping a tight ship at the back, and it's keeping them in 5th at the moment, which is making this a really interesting game, because Mainz, with the form that they're in at the moment, has got a glorious chance here to put themselves in a very decent position for a Champions League spot for next season. If they beat Freiburg, they can create a gap there of 6 points down with just 8 matches to go in the Bundesliga. So this is a really, really crucial game for them. That would, and this is with my standard German football knowledge, that would probably put them in the Champions League for the first time ever. So there's a lot to play for here in this game. It's going to make it a really interesting test. But yeah, let's look at the Mainz team and the Mainz results, because they have 4 wins in a row now. They went to Gladbach last week, beat them 3-1. They also went to Leipzig. Leipzig at the time also just outside of the Champions League spots, a team that could have turned the fortunes around. It could have entered Leipzig back into the Champions League spot and put Mainz out of it. But Mainz went there. They beat them 2-1, beat St. Pauli, and they beat Heidenheim. So on Mainz, yeah, they're looking really, really strong at the moment. And yeah, with just 9 games to go, they can create a real gap here down to Freiburg and Leipzig with another win.
Yeah. I mean, Mainz have been impressive, haven't they, with that those 2 away wins, comprehensive as well. The last one against Gladbach, but Gladbach aren't up to much at the moment, like we mentioned. But yes, we do think this one will be close, but we think there will be a winner. However, our tip for this one is under 2.5 goals, which you can understand with Freiburg's record, right? 1.73 are the odds you can get for under 2.5 goals. That's less than 3 goals being scored in the match. And but we have gone for a Mainz win, and the odds on that are 2, so a bit better than the under 2.5 goals. But yes, we think that Mainz will just have the edge, but only just. They haven't actually, Mainz, been beaten. Haven't actually beaten Freiburg in the last 7 matches, so they're going to have to pull out something a bit special compared to what they normally do. But here's the good stat for them: they are unbeaten in their last 8 home league matches.
Yeah.
So that's a bit more impressive. Let's see how it goes. But we've gone for a 1-0 home win. The odds for 1-0 to Mainz are 7, so not that great for a correct score of 1-0, 7, 6-1 in fractional. But that's what we've got there. That's all the bookies are offering. The odds, like I said, 2 for a Mainz win, 3.3 for a draw, and Freiburg are out at 4 for them to win. Well, it could go either way, but yeah, we like the look of a home win, and that's what we're sticking to. Let's move on to our summary matches. Starting off with Union Berlin in 14th, taking on league-leading Bayern Munich. Kicks off on Saturday again, the 15th of March at 2:30 in the UK time. Kick-off. You can stream it on Bet365, and to qualify for that, as we mentioned, all you need is any funds in your account or to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours. Use that bonus code FP365 on sign-up. For this, we have gone, maybe rather predictably, for a Bayern Munich win. But our tip for this one is actually both teams to score. And we've gone for a correct score of Union Berlin 1, Bayern Munich 2.
Yes, moving on to Leipzig in 6th to take on Borussia Dortmund in 10th. This game kicks off Saturday, 15th of March at 5:30 UK time. This game you can watch on Bet365, and in order to qualify, all you need is a funded account or to place the bet in the last 24 hours. Sign up with bonus code FP365. Now, for this game, we are going with an entertaining draw. We're saying 2-2. So that's our main prediction of both teams to score and a 2-2 draw.
Next up, it's Bochum, who are 16th, taking on Eintracht Frankfurt, who are 4th. It's on Sunday, this one, 16th of March, 2:30 UK time. You can stream it on Bet365, and to qualify for that, all you need is any funds in your account or to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours. Sign up with bonus code FP365. Now, for this one, we have gone for an under 2.5 goals prediction, and the correct score is Bochum 0, Frankfurt 1.
Yes, and then also on Sunday, the 16th of March at 4:30 UK time, we've got Heidenheim in 18th, takes on Holstein Kiel in 17th. So this is a really important game at the bottom of the Bundesliga, a must-win for either side. We're going for a home win for Heidenheim. So a home win, under 2.5 goals, and a correct score prediction, 1-0 Heidenheim.
And rounding off with Stuttgart in 8th, taking on Bayer Leverkusen, who are second in the table. It's on Sunday at 6:30. That's the 16th of March, UK time, 6:30 p.m. And, of course, this one's going to be a very interesting game. We have gone for a correct score prediction of Stuttgart 0 and Bayer Leverkusen 1. So that's an under 2.5 goals prediction. Just a reminder that live streaming is available at Bet365, and use the bonus code FP365 during sign up. As mentioned, to qualify, all you need is to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours or have a funded account. Geolocation and live streaming rules apply, and full details are available on the Bet365 website. 18 plus, gamble aware.
Yes, and in the description area of this podcast, you can see the links to all the games we've just been discussing, or just simply go to footballpredictions.net. The beauty is that you can find all the online places to watch the game from your location while streaming and TV channels, our predictions for different betting markets, team news, as well as the best offers and odds.
And we record football podcasts for additional competitions as well as Bundesliga, and you can hear them at podcast.footballpredictions.net or where you get your favourite podcasts from, like Apple, YouTube and Spotify. Well, that's it. Thank you for listening. And for now, it is...
Tschüss.
Auf Wiedersehen.
A football prediction.